I've got a fresh set of PS5 and PS4 games from the latest GameStop Buy 2 Get 1 sale. Let's take a look at them. At the time of filming this, GameStop has just wrapped up their Buy 2 Get 1 sale, and I managed to make it to 2 different GameStops. The first when I was up visiting my parents, and then the other when I was out visiting my in-laws. I didn't get a chance to check out my own local GameStop, but I like those 2 more than mine anyways, as they're both retro stores, and sometimes they have something uncommon or rare grace their shelves, whereas my local GameStop doesn't have anything older than a PS4 or an Xbox One game. Unfortunately, I did not find anything other than PS4 or PS5 titles at either of these places, but I'm definitely not complaining. I found titles I hadn't seen before, and one that I was waiting to get for $20 anyway, since it requires the internet, something that I don't normally allow in my collection. Actually, let's start there. The first is Star Wars Outlaws on the PS5. This game took a lot of flack when it was first released, and rightfully so if you ask me. Heck, it was taking crap before it was even released due to the lack of customizable character and the push for this scruffy nerf herder of a main character.
Who's scruffy looking?
On top of that, the game was super buggy and obviously unfinished. Many patches later, I've seen reviews where it's a much better game now than originally was released, but not without its flaws. I'm just looking for a good Star Wars story. Can it do that at least? I've heard it's nothing groundbreaking, just kind of like a super fun Star Wars romp, if you will. I don't even know if super fun is right to say. But I can handle that for $20, that's no big deal. And if it turns out to be absolute trash that I can't even stand after a couple of hours playing, or where I can't see myself committing to the game's approximately 18-hour campaign, well then so be it. The next game is Daymare 1994 Sandcastle. And this is a survival horror game, but much more heavy on the action side. There's not a positive or negative to that, it's just a fact that it is a horror game on the action side. It's actually a prequel to Daymare 1998, which is another game that I own, but that game is much closer to a traditional survival horror with slower, more deliberate gameplay. I don't know what to think about this one as far as gameplay goes. It didn't score horribly, and it didn't score amazingly either. It definitely borders on the "should I even give this a try" line. It was also listed for $30 for GameStop, but during the sale, it would have come down to $20 if you normalized it across all 3 games like I do. In these buy 2 get 1s, I never think of one of my games as free. It's always normalized because nothing's free. And I figured worst case, I could probably resell this for what I had in it pretty easily since it's a horror title and then wash my hands of it. But since this is October, I've really enjoyed all the horror titles that I played this month. And they weren't all 10 out of 10 games. So I'm hoping this one will at least be entertaining. And the final game that I picked up in this GameStop is the Spirit of the North 2, which is a sequel to the 2019 game of the same name, where you play as a mystical fox exploring the world. This time around, it's more of an open world design with some light platforming, puzzles, few boss encounters, and it's often considered a Zen-like experience in a game with amazing visuals, music, and emotion. I've not played the second one here, but I did play a bit of the first to verify that I wanted to keep it, and I enjoyed it. And I feel it's an acquired taste though, but I thought it was unique enough to keep in my collection to play when I needed something a bit quieter. Well, the first could probably be beaten in a single session or a couple of smaller sessions. The second I hear can take maybe 25 hours to beat. And that's a heck of a huge change. So I'm hoping the addition of the open world isn't just all padding, as that's basically why I dislike most open world games. I don't mind when the world is open, but as long as I can keep progressing at a good pace and the side quests are just, find the hidden things because I don't feel like messing around with them, then I don't feel like I'm missing much of anything in that kind of a game. So we'll see how this one stacks up in the future. Now these next 3 games come from the other GameStop out by my in-laws' house, where I was also coming in at about $20 per game, I guess, during this buy two, get one sale. Though I'm pretty sure that they were both underpriced and overpriced at the GameStop too, when they were listed for $30. So let's start with the Ninja Saviors here, which is apparently a remake of the SNES game, The Ninja Saviors. Seeing as I'd never had an SNES, I didn't know that when I picked this up, and honestly, I have no clue what it's about. I can tell it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up, and that's honestly all that drew me toward it. I love beat-em-up games. Streets of Rage and TMNT 2, that was my bread and butter when I was growing up. Looks like there's some number of different characters to choose from in this, and learning their different combos and abilities to pick for each level. I hope it's not the type of game that forces me into one character for the entire game, but also at the same time, I hope it doesn't force you into one character per level to actually succeed. I enjoy picking and choosing, so if they're all balanced, it should be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to playing this next time a beat-em-up urge hits. This next one is Raging Bytes, and that's a total unknown for me. What drew me to it here was the pixel art. It looked amazing on the cover. And the back looked like RPG gameplay, and Bytes being spelled B-Y-T-E-S, as in my professional career, I do work in tech. So I thought that was cool. That's really all I went on by this, and the fact that I hadn't heard of it before too. All those make my senses go, oh, this is probably worth checking out. So naturally, when I got to my in-laws, I did a quick lookup of what this game was, and found it to be a grind-heavy game. And that's not a negative in my opinion. I really enjoy a good grind sometimes, just to pop in for 15-20 minutes and pop out. Sometimes I keep one of these games on the back burner and just play it whenever my mind needs to be in a little vegetative state after a long day. I honestly can't say much more about this because I really have no input. It's just a new title that I'd never heard of or seen before that I'm looking forward to adding to the collection to play one day. And the final game from this GameStop is Double Dragon Gaiden, Rise of the Dragons. And I gotta admit, I only picked this up because of the name Double Dragon in the title. This was a classic name for those of us that grew up on the NES, and whether we beat that game or even got through the first couple of levels, everyone knew Double Dragon. I unfortunately didn't have Double Dragon, so I think a part of me felt this was redemption for my NES days by picking it up. Is it good? I have no clue. Is it valued at $20 price tag after the sales of Pride? Yes, it is. Sure is. And again, that's another reason that I picked it up. I figured I couldn't get too hosed on this title if I didn't enjoy it. And at this time, I can't see why I wouldn't enjoy it, unless it's insanely difficult or throws some curveball at you in the middle of the gameplay. But let me know if you've played this and how it stacks up to other beat-em-ups. I did want to note inside here it had a poster and some stickers as well. And I thought that was kind of cool to see that. I have one final bonus here that I thought we could unbox today, and I needed a bit of a wider shot to do this. So, while up at the GameStop near my parents', I found the Butcher from Diablo 3 on clearance. They just had like this large table out, this folding table. It looks so out of place in the middle of their GameStop store, just full of Funko Pops, and they were selling every single one of them for $5, even these large ones like this. So while I don't normally buy Funkos unless I can create some kind of a set with them, and for example, I have the Justice League, I have an 80s movie scene, Ghostbusters, Guardians of the Galaxy, things like that. And I certainly do not leave them boxed. I bought a majority of mine open box for like $2, maybe like $2 or $3 a piece from lots and larger sets. And I pieced together my sets from there. I'll insert some pictures of some of the sets that I've pieced together so far. But let's unbox this Butcher today so that I can figure out how he'll work into my general video game character set that I'm starting to put together. So I'm just going to open it up here. It's probably not going to be too pretty to do it. I, again, don't care about the box for this stuff. I just enjoy displaying them. Oh, he's coming out pretty easy. All right, that's easy enough. Wow, real exciting, right? So there he is. There is the butcher from Diablo 3. Not a really cool detail on him there. He's got his butcher's sickle here, his butcher's axe. Yeah, very cool. Does anyone remember playing the original Diablo and going down into, I think it was the second level of the catacombs, and you just open this one door and you hear
fresh meat.
Yeah, that was terrifying. I remember having the demo disc that included Diablo on it. It was like a Microsoft DirectX demo disc, and Diablo was on that. And I would play the first couple levels of the catacomb to death. I could not remember if I ever beat the Butcher, or maybe that game lets you level up forever. And finally, maybe I did beat the Butcher. Holy cow, was it hard and so much fun. And to this day, Diablo is one of my favorite series of any video games. So there we go, some cool pickups. More that I'm not familiar with than those that I am, actually. I think that's part of the beauty of these buy two, get ones. I looked at some of them for like $60 used games that I could have picked up, and I just thought, I bet I can get these cheaper on a Black Friday sale new. Games like Borderlands 4, I actually couldn't believe they had that in there. It was not long after that released, I think. Or Lost Soul Aside, or even Silent Hill F. I'm betting the upcoming Black Friday sales, and those get earlier and earlier each year. I'm betting that we can find these for even cheaper than it would have been, say, $40 each, maybe, when the sale was going on. And speaking of asides, have you seen Buy Sweet Carol? That game looks amazing, and I hope it also goes on sale just to experience the artwork and what I have heard is average gameplay. So what cool finds have you found in the Buy Two Get One sale, either this latest time or in the past? I'd love to hear about them and any other sales that you might use to help build your collections. Stay tuned for more collection-related topics on Let's Build a Collection.